and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. We're looking at the blackberries. They're looking good. We've got some little green berries starting to form on this bush. We should be picking them before too much longer. We still have to get out here and do some weed eating in areas around our homestead. This is hashtag Garden Tour Club and hashtag Weird Container Growing, hosted by Gail Southern Living. You're also going to see the hashtag Store to Garden Grow, hosted by Luann's Kitchen and Blackberry Rock Homestead, and the Grow Big 24, hosted by Grow Big TV in this video. My roses are blooming and they're looking very, very good, even though I didn't get back out here to get rid of some of the dead wood on my plant, and it smells so good, y'all. I love the smell of roses. It clears your mind. There is another blackberry vine and it's producing, and we've got another one here in the corner, and it looks like it's doing very, very well. There is another blackberry vine that's doing very, very healthy. We're going to be planting some wild goose peas along our fence. They are a pole bean that were gifted to us 2 years ago. So we decided we're going to put them out here along the fence line, and hopefully we'll have a good harvest of those as well. I'm going to actually let them just dry on the vine. There's another plant of the blackberries. I'm just coming out here to check to see how they're doing. There's a huge anthill right there. We're going to put some diatomaceous earth on that. And there is another blackberry vine right there that's not doing too great. I need to come out here and I need to give them another dose of fertilizer. We've had so much rain come through, y'all. We had storms Sunday night. We actually had a scare for a tornado, a possible tornado in our area, and we would have been ground zero if it had come down. So we're very, very thankful that we are okay and everybody else is okay. This is a 330 square foot garden that we're in the process of planting now. We're working from the end by the driveway in the house towards the back, and we're going to put a little outdoor porch right in this area, and we may do some light tilling here and plant some turnip greens or something like that, or maybe some melons. We haven't decided yet. This is our handy dandy seed planter that my husband made. He followed somebody on YouTube, saw how they made them, and he decided he would try it out, and it works pretty good, y'all. So we're going to be moving some of these fire rings that you see sitting in here. We've got to get some more horse manure or cow manure, whatever we can get that's composted to plant. So I'm walking down here. I'm going to show you the areas that we have already planted and what we're working on next. This area here we're going to be working on. We're going to be putting in some peppers, jalapenos and hot peppers, and some yellow Indian woman bush beans will go in this area. And then behind that we're going to put 3 of these fire rings across and fill them with herbs and flowers to kind of draw in the good pollinators. The first set of trellises you see here are planted with cucumbers, and then underneath we have some black-eyed peas that are bush beans that will go in that area, or it's already planted in that area, I should say. We have a fire ring here that I'm going to be planting some herbs in and flowers to bring in the good pollinators and maybe keep the hornworms from eating up our tomatoes. So this first row of tomatoes is Abe Lincoln heirloom tomatoes. They are indeterminate. That means that they will be vining. So we've got a trellis up there. And then we have another fire ring in the center of this, and we're going to be planting some more flowers and herbs in there. And somewhere along in here, we're also going to be planting some corn. I may plant a little more okra on the back row. I haven't decided yet. This next set of trellises are the purple pied Louisiana green bean, and y'all, those are the best green beans you will ever put in your mouth. They are purple pied, but when you cook them, they turn green. And then underneath that, we have put a couple of squash plants underneath each of the trellises. This next row here is a hybrid tomato. It is a mountain heirloom, or I can't remember exactly what it is, that we bought from the Amish. And so these are determinates. That means that they're going to be bush, but they're going to grow to about 4 feet. So we do have a trellis set up for them. And then this area here in the front, I have planted provider green beans. I've got 4 rows of those planted here. I've got okra planted on that back side where you see the dirt. And then I've got all kinds of flowers and things planted in the dirt along this end of the garden. So we've done a lot of work out here. The mint bed is doing really, really good. We still are trying to get out here to do a little bit of weeding. Those are the lilies that are blooming. I've got other lilies over there that are fixing to bloom. And I've got one little marigold that has decided to grace us with its presence. And I've already thinned these out some, but I may be thinning them out again as I go out and plant some of these in between tomatoes out in the garden. We've moved all of our indoor plants outdoors, and this one is getting away. I need to get that back up on this table because I do not want it rooting in the ground. And these plants here were started with a 20-year-old plant. Couldn't you believe that? So I'm blessed with those. This is the blue basket that we planted some flowers in, and my hens and chicks are doing very, very well, and I got some weeds growing in here. I'm just going to pull those real quick. The rosemary is just not doing good here. I may try to lift some of the plants out and move them somewhere else. The broccoli and onions are doing very well. This is the established asparagus bed. There are some beets growing in all that menagerie you see at the bottom. This is onions, and I planted something else in here. I'm not sure exactly what I planted, but we'll find that out as it gets bigger. This is more onions and was supposed to be leeks, but I don't think that's leeks growing in there. And this is onions, and whatever was growing in there is not doing very well either. We still have none of this, and this is the ginger. The ginger's coming up, y'all. This is a partially sunny, partially shaded area. So this is onions and lettuce. The lettuce is starting to come up, but it's just been really, really slow growing. This is the new established bed of asparagus, and I've got tons and tons of beets growing in here. So I'm happy about that. And there's the other chicken and hen, or the chicks and hen. This is another onion bed. I need to get out here and do a little weeding. This was planted with radish. The radishes are not doing well. We've had so much rain, y'all. This is onions and carrots, and it is doing absolutely wonderful. And this is onions and carrots, and it's also doing very, very well. This is the Grow Big TV, my experimental garden where we're going to try to grow the biggest and best of the plants for a $100 prize for each variety that they have given us to grow. And we're going to start at this end. These are my Detroit dark red beets. They're doing very, very well. I've also companion planted some marigold in there with those. These are Peter peppers. They're starting to leaf out now. And I have planted some basil and cilantro in this bed. Now the cilantro takes a little longer for it to germinate, but the basil is really popping out, y'all. I also companion planted some marigolds in this as well. My Dr. Weitch's tomatoes are starting to really pop out now. It is companion planted with onions and marigolds, and those are to help keep the hornworms and stuff away and just give back some nutrients to the soil to help those tomatoes. But I'm so happy to see that they're finally leafing out. Look at this. Leafing out, yay. They took a while to leaf out as well. This is my sunflower bed, y'all. I do have a few marigolds around the edge of this just to kind of keep the deer away. And it looks like something was munching on one of the leaves. We've got some inchworms in my cabbage. I'll show you that in a little bit. But at any time you see this, you've got something in there that is munching. So you need to turn your leaves upside down and look. So I'll probably be coming out here with a homemade natural spray and spray those just to make sure that they make it. This is my watermelon radishes, and they're looking very, very good. And again, I've companion planted some marigolds that I transplanted, and they should help keep away any insect or slug that might want to be munching on my radishes. This is the last of the beds, and I have got Black Beauty zucchini growing in here. I've got a little patch of marigolds in here, and then in the center I have planted some peaches and cream corn and butter beans. These are pole beans, so they will grow up the corn stalks. And I double planted the corn so that the beans will have something to grab hold of. But they're companion plants, and that should help the zucchini. My strawberries are reaching the end of its bearing season, it looks like. Some of the berries are not looking so healthy. So what I do is I just pick them off and I'm planting them. I'm putting them back in a pot. And hopefully we'll get some new plants out of them. So that's what I'm doing with these. Just dig a little hole, stick the whole thing in there, and just let it go. I do have some berries on there that I need to pick. And I've companion planted this with some garlic or onions. I can't remember which one I put in there. And they're doing fine. Y'all, it is hot out here already. We have added more soil to our sweet potatoes and our red potatoes. And these barrels are about half full. This one is about 2/3 full already. Let me get over here. We've already had blooms on our red potatoes. And so they are making potatoes now. We know that. So I'm excited about that. And I did put some onions in here, but they didn't come up. So I'm going to replant some onions in here when my husband finishes filling this in as a companion plant for the potatoes. This tansy is doing very, very well. And then we've got 8 pimento peppers, and I need to take all these trays and plant all these out into the garden that I've got started here. This is the rhubarb. It's doing very well. Some of my tomato plants are showing wear from all the rain, but I'm going to mix up some Epsom salt and water and a spray bottle, and I'm going to come out here and spray them and maybe bring them back to life. So everything is looking good over in this garden area. And then I've got bell peppers all in those hay bales, and I planted garlic along with the peppers. So we have lots and lots of tomatoes on the vine, y'all. Just tons of them. I've got onions planted with all of my tomatoes. Look at there. Those are aromas, y'all. The basil and the oregano and all are coming up very well, so I'm excited. And I've got blooms on my peppers. That's the Cherokee purple in there. Let me see if I can get a better picture of that. There it is. And I've got some marigolds that are growing, was supposed to grow inside, but they're outside the cage as well. And so I've got 36 tomatoes out here, 3 varieties. This one is just loaded with Roma tomatoes. And I've got pink tomatoes down this way. I've got 3 pink tomatoes, 3 of the purple heirloom tomatoes. Those are probably the Pink Kings. They've grown those in the past. And these are probably Cherokee purples. And something was eating my cabbage, y'all. So I have come out here. I mixed a spray. What I did is I mixed some garlic, some cayenne, and let it ferment overnight with some water. Then I came out here this morning and I strained it off and I added some dish soap to it. And I literally drenched these cabbages with that mixture to get the little bitty tiny, can you see those eggs in there? There's eggs in there, y'all. So everything's been drenched. A little bitty tiny inchworms. These are not cabbage worms, they're inchworms. And I have been picking them off. See, there they are. There's 2 of them there. And I just pitch them when I see them. So I'm coming out here and I'm checking. There's another one. That's how you know it's an inchworm. Can you see? So we're just pinching those. I'm trying to get them off of my plants. There's a big one right there. So what I also did is I took some of the established thyme and I planted that in here, and then I've got some garlic growing in here and some dill growing in these. So I've been out here just picking those little buggers off because I don't want them in my beds. And they have just really attacked my cabbage. And so I'm looking and making sure that I'm getting them off my leaves. There's a weed, I don't need that in there. But that's a giant elephant garlic, and then I've got thyme planted in here in several places. I also took some baking soda and put on the leaves, hoping that would kind of deter these bugs. But there's some more eggs right there on that leaf. Right there on my end of my finger, if I can get it in the camera. I don't know if you can see those or not, but you want to get all those off of your plants when you see them. And the garlic and the cayenne should make these bugs not like the taste, and they will leave my plants alone. This dill's doing very, very well. Get this weed out of here. We still haven't planted this flower. I'm bad, I know. Okay, we're at the end of the garden, y'all. This is the turmeric. It's coming up. I'm going to go ahead and get my husband to trellis make me a cage or something to put over this, and I'm going to plant this outside with beans to shade this plant because it is supposed to be in the shade, and this is a full sun area. So there's the rest of the thyme, and I've got to get these flowers and these miniature peppers planted as well. So we've got a lot of work yet to do. This area here is all sunflowers and wildflowers that we've planted, and the wildflowers are starting to come up right in here. You can start seeing the little wildflowers. All manner of sunflowers planted out here, and this is to help my neighbor's honeybees this summer and to give us more sunflower seeds to feed to our chickens. Oh, before I forget, the Garden Tour Club is doing a monthly giveaway that's hosted by Gail Southern Living, and Joe and Corky's Grow Big 24 are giving away a $100 prize for each variety of seed that they have given us or gifted us to see who can grow the biggest. And second and third prizes will be seeds. You can find all the playlists in the description box along with all the information for some of these open collaborations, and some of them are closed. Thank you for watching this. This is hashtag Garden Tour Club, hashtag Weird Container Growing, hashtag Store to Garden Grow, and hashtag Grow Big 24. Hosted by Gail Southern Living, Luann's Kitchen, and Blackberry Rock Homestead, and of course Joe and Corky over at Grow Big TV. Y'all be fully blessed.